Hi, I'm Pixie Bruner. I'm a poet in Atlanta, Georgia. I will be being published by Space and Time magazine, making my re-debut there in issue number 145. And I also have 3 poems coming up in Whispers from Beyond, a dark poetry anthology, going to be published by Crystal Lake Publishing this year. I am a cat person, mostly harmless. I live with my male doppelgänger. I am a cervical cancer survivor and patient advocate. I'm also a NASA Night Sky Network. This is not wallpaper, this is my actual habitat. So, yes, I write dark speculative, dark sci fi poetry. I write from experience, I write from my heart, and I hope some of this resonates with some of you, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. Poetry gifts to those who need it, who it calls to. I'm going to start with my it's an Ars Poetica, maybe an Ars Poetica, called The Truly Dangerous Liaison. This will be in Whispers from Beyond. Surely you know that poets wind up killing each other, or more ironically, themselves. Two poets together as polyamory never fares satisfying. The words always want more, and or the spouse less. There is always the competition. Every moment, every conversation, every bowl of alphabet soup, silence, or spoken word is Mirandized. They shall and will be used against you at the dinner table, the public reading, or the court of law. Poets are not safe with each other. The poetess is best off with someone for whom words are not the business. The sirens, the claxons, the calling, strike throughs like serial killers. Litho-romantic, if too happy, limerence for the word of the day. Best off for someone whom Zelda is just a video game princess. If you know, he says. Noun, verb, noun, verb, noun, verb, adjective, noun, verb, adjective, noun, verb, preposition, noun, pronoun, expletive, exclamation mark. Word games turn to mind games. Summer lawns become dog salads. Metaphor becomes metaphor. A discussion of counting derangements gets personal. The alarms screeching as objects hurled from their solar systems, paperweight meteors, coffee mug comets, shooting scissors, chapbook planets. The children of poets are stillborn somehow, born under bad constellations, mixed genetic metaphors, black horoscopes, that evil star where rats live. When one takes up the pencil or pen and stares at the unforgiving cursor for hours, the reproductive organs should be plucked and burned like love letters and engagement portraits in Weber Grill crematorium. There are too many letters never written and sent between poets, like the Discordian apples. Helling heiress like an Uber. Nouns, verb, bad juju happens. The poets, their seeds, these words, will force feed each other until these over engorged deer ticks pop and always leave the pages too damn empty. Okay, and now for something a little more elevated. This is my piece that will be in Space and Time magazine. It is a collaboration with Amy Dries, and it was an honor. And it literally happened serendipitously throwing lines at each other on Messenger and then editing them in a poetry workshop. Only mortification can bear fruit. Oh, I apologize. I use classical Latin pronunciation, so I will sound like Elmer Fudd. Here we go. Always solue et coagula, particle and wave, opposite, observed, outlying. Subatomic tricksters turning tricks for the pleasure in disorder. Big bang, loudest whimpers. Spagyria for nothingness. An infernal dust mote jettisons arrow-like. Craving flesh evolves far enough. Casting per se nebulae, resurrectionists hunch over crucibles. Burners spark, go dark, cry out in the clattering tongues of dropped silverware. Abiogenesis from semi-precious pallasites. Existence is excisions, decisions, typos, addenda, knotting into dense tangles, an event horizon pulled taut, obfuscating singularity. Thank you. My next poem is a poem about anatomy, but it's not as bad as you might think. Bone, blood, bird, heart. Pectoris excavatum, a breastbone sunken in, as if sculpted, aesthetically pleasing, a misshapen cage in his chest. A hollow my hand fits in perfectly as I sleep. Rib cages are bird cages for hearts, trembling, wet, hungering things like new hatchlings. We lie on the bed, all flat planes and angles, all soft curves and rounded mounds, all spent. He uses a bone shear to get what he wants. He cuts my sternum into a door, scores and cracks the bone to craft a hinge, and reaches into me past his wrist to pull out my heart, to place it in its new cage in his indented chest. As he sleeps, I claw my way through the breastbone cage door and clutch his tender captive heart gently. I feed it promises and hope, nurture it. The blood ribbons that uncurl down our forearms tie us together in a bow. The next poem I am going to read is a science fiction poem, unpublished. Hint, 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 hint. But yes, this is called Hamon Proxima b Centauri. It is also a rare time that I use rhyme. She's the hottest thing in the coldness of space. She wears only black, not because it's slimming, but because it hides the curved lines of her uncanny event horizon too many have dared to cross. Round her the stars can't shine. If you need something, anything, she's the hookup, whether ether for a binge or a week away or so, flying low among the remaining Kuiper belt. Zodics are no problem. Truth told, the price is fair, but it might just be your soul. There are rumors. She sings sometimes, and it sounds different to everyone who hears her words. Some hear a choir of celestials, others sultry torch songs, and the unfortunates who survive hear the grinding of their bones. The lady can be found if not looking, never on a passenger manifest, as silent as the cats, afar away from Hamelin, no longer taking the village children. She let her hair grow out, a sutler outfit. She still kills the rats. The next poem I shall read Well, I'm not going to read the tabs, although for potato salad tonight. I'm going to read Coffee in Hell. This is a unpublished poem. Coffee in Hell. We're going straight to hell. We stumble on bound, blistered feet at the cave. We flip a coin to see who grips the blade and calls forth their father first, grayer, thinner than of blessed memories. Called by blood on cold pebbles, red droplets, hibiscus petals on the grass, a splash of Manischewitz for mine, a glug of wild Irish rose for yours, then are swallowed down. Could we clasp hands, maybe intertwine fingers like intimate arachnids and converse to make the journey more pleasant? If we pool all of our loose coins together, maybe we can pay Charon to row us across the Styx. Can we stop for coffee in hell? I hear they have sinfully good devil's food cake. Burnt, bitter coffee, acrid, sharp daggers on the tongue, buttercream mortality pasting the moist layers together. The coffee says, noli me olfacere. We inhale deeply anyway. But please, do not look too closely at me. I will not look at you. I cannot meet your eyes. Neither of us are as beautiful as we once were. Spices clogging our pores. Nebula cut into amuse, rewind. Spices clogging our pores. Nebulae cut into amuse bouche, given as samples from food stalls. Comets crisp cold snow cones falling apart on the tongue. No final destination planned. Permanent tourists in the bizarre bazaar. The music is relentless from the merry-go-round. The polymer resin horses colicky, foam upon their scolding bridles, and mad with bastard strangles. Look ahead. There is only forward. You have paid the fare, the fines, boarded the boat. You forsake the cake even. Same with putting your eyes out. No return trip for regret. Leave it upon the dry shores and set it ablaze. Watch the smoke and shades rise from the crooked shore and falling sky, with its stars and dreams and galaxies, which is possibly ours now and forever and ever, worlds without end. Amen. And I believe I shall read. Let me grab a sip of something to drink. I'm sponsored by caffeine and diet soda. I'm a type 1 diabetic for 30 some odd years. Um, so let's see. I think the next one I shall read is my collaboration with Amabilis O'Hara called Oral Fixation. I've been listening at the walls. I hear it, do you? I am here alone. Subtle tympanic tickles vibrate through the vacuum. A yearning resonant wave ripples. Beyond enunciation, hissing whispers, so I grew fingers to cut my ear. Supple shell splits and splays, cartilage wax wiggles into a nubby pink digit array. Aleph and Omega eavesdropper, intercepting the signals, touching thought, heart, wish, nightmare, dream, curse, prayers. Phalanges, fist tight to knock, echoed tap, spart, skull, splinter, partition, mimetic minds unlocked. I reach my pudgy, sticky fingers into their brain. They are lonely. They want someone to play with. Let's pinch threads of cosmic gibber against gummy thumb lobes and twist celestial chitter. I will play with you. Cat's cradle with the arachnoid matter. Pull and entwine. Invert in exchange. Let's play. I reach out from the wall. Stick my fingers into your ears. Auricular pads of flesh mingle, cerebral spinal fluids slicked, ventricular cortex tangle, or neuron feathered temples touch. We spin microtubule twine tether to sync the sibilant sounds of us. Latching, strings connecting, we swoon side by side. What could be faces pressed together. And let's see, I shall. I have a poem that's very, very controversial, and I'm probably going to close with that just because. But these are a series of short 4-line poems that I've recently started called Petty Mouths, or as I'm translating it, Tiny Terrors. 1. The sun is too strong in mornings. The mom plant is withered. I carve my lover into lean slices so his mother will never find out. I am a murderess. I have killed 2 children. I have failed to kill myself thrice. I am a serial killer of succulents. 3. The words that came out were the wrong words entirely. Instead, I uttered a knotted maraschino stem, but I swear I meant I love you. Preparation for a weekend. A Dorco tinkle razor. Cutting back the bush with a straight razor. Most female genital mutilations occur at home. We dig our graves with teaspoons stolen from midnight diners. We shake out our navels for loose change and lint to pay the pipers. And I shall close with. Oh, I'm. Actually, I'm going to read this. This is called Written on Wet Toilet Paper in Watercolor. This was inspired by Jamal Hodge, who was one of my instructors in a recent workshop. An effective poem is a truth quake. It should make or unmake. You should want to test it. If a knife point opens a gill that drips red jewels if it slips into your knuckles when a lover loses grip. An effective poem is a prayer. In case of emergency, smash the bullshit. It gives succor. It absolves and absorbs the bounty of our sins, be they real or imagined. An effective poem is a puppeteer, putting its fingers and feelings into you, moving your lips like a ventriloquist. A poem should fuck around and find out. Play parlor games to win soft prizes until the Sharpie wears off under the skin, leaving only the outline of bones within. And yes, I am going to do it. I am not going to read like Ginsberg, but I am going to read Kirky on Black. It was originally Kirky on Black Friday, but then I discovered that Amazon, and I have a big problem with commercialism. But this is Kirky on Amazon Prime Day. At promptly 11:58 p.m., shod in fuzzy mules and the recommended knit sleep set in apricot, 4.1 stars bought 8% off on crisp modal and bamboo viscose blend sheets under a cloudy miasma of celebrity eau de toilette, an irresistibly sexy fragrance of tart green apple, cotton candy, vanilla marshmallow, hysteria latte, whip sweet berry, heart of leather, burnt coffee, metallic adrenaline, anxiety toffee, and bass notes of bacon, laudanum, and amber, Gorgon Grage face mask cracking. You will fire up the fire tablet, same app in all the cul-de-sacs, mirrored in all suburban subdivisions, funhouse individuality sublimated by an HOA, queued up at the before the screen as if at an abattoir, refreshing with those donut glazed 9-inch coffin acrylic manicured nails. Botoxed, liposucked, too perfect to be fucked, synthetic Ozempic size 8 heifers. You will buy and buy and buy and buy. You will still not have filled all your holes. One click, nails clack, one click, cart fill. A month later, crammed into the post box, the crumpled credit card bill. You haven't gone paper free. As you flutter drop kick him with your lovely $300 cyanoacrylate mink eyelashes, your latest husband, Kirky, shall become an amnesiac. And I'm gonna just, since we're doing this, I'm gonna just do one more poem, and I can't believe I'm going to read this, but why not? Actually, I'm gonna do it. Here we go. This is meant with love. I believe in poetry. I believe in the power of poetry. But it is not an affirmation. It is more. We are the ones who see that the emperor wears no clothes. We are the unheard voices. And therefore, I'm going to read Diatribe Against the Rise of the Insta Poet. I am not here to hold your hair back as you drama purge over the toilet. I want you to grow fat with real thoughts, to engorge with ideas and find your own voice. I am not going to house train you to not take an emotional dump on the internet app for shit. I don't want you to just feel better about yourself. I want you to be better than you were yesterday, because otherwise, why even bother? I don't want you to be validated and have warm fuzzies. Poetry is not your whoopee. Only peace treaties are words crafted to pacify, and they are often broken like poetic forms. Poetry will not heal you unless you do the work, and it sucks big time. It can only inspire you to heal and not blame yourself and hate the world, which is awesome overall in the cosmic scale, by the way, even if you have a shattered heart and pouring eyes. I want you to rupture from growth. I want you to see with another's eyes, blister, and wince from donning their shoes and walking a mile in unpaved terrain. Learn actual empathy, not mirroring, imitating style. Life isn't following online tutorials. Look, dress, write, be just like someone else. You can't merely repost, like, swallow, spit, whiten, highlight, nip, tuck, inject, glut on empty self love calories. Subscribe, comment, and share for mental balance. Okay, so I want you to know me for just a second before I slip behind the curtain again. You see just a nip slip, a grammatical ghost. I whisper, not make pithy statements and reheat trendy leftover cliches. Poetry is more than aphorisms and affirmations, cosplaying as enjambments. I'm still a stranger when we meet. I am not your inspiration porn. You are not always beautiful and perfect just because you read poetry. You are sometimes a hot mess of a dumpster fire. So embrace it. The burning isn't possibly forever, though it feels like it will be this proud morning after walk home. And babe, wherever you go, there you are. And sometimes in the margins of the wasted space on pages you were suggested, you got there yourself sometimes, but you can leave if brave enough. Click X. I refuse to be quoted on your social media feed with nice little line drawings where flower doodles and handwritten fonts cover over the naughty bits. There is nothing naughty in being human. Art is as amoral as everyone's narcissist acts and is a honey badger. I will not love you at your worst or give you a hall pass to be an annoying twat. I'm Gen X, and I'm still Ally Sheedy. And it's okay though. All is good with me, but for the sunshine out of your ass. And my cats are being really weird. It doesn't need you to vibe with it and give to it. The poetry either gifts you or it doesn't. Poetry is not a self indulgence. It is not nice. It can't buy me lunch, even. And I'm not joking. It's not therapy, although it can be therapeutic. It's not going to hold your hand at the doctor's office on that terrible day when that day comes. It's not vanilla scented. Met Gala, Shearling Line, New York Fashion Week, magazine recommended with affiliate links. Poetry is not the Starbucks of your entire experience as a human being. Burnt beans, burnout baristas, pink drinks, seasonal flavors, comfort, familiar, globally consistent, generic, modern, easy listening, eclectic indie tunes playing in the background, and typically immediately forgotten. And that was my poetry reading. This was my random act of poetry, and I probably went too far. But if you've managed to get this far, thank you. And please look for me. And I will be posting a picture of my rejection cake when I earn 100 rejections. Thank you very much. I'm Pixie Bruner. Please look for Space and Time magazine and Whispers from Beyond coming out soon on Crystal Lake Publishing.